Let's see. Let's see. Hmm.
You got to chill.
Oh boy, what we got? Oh boy. Yes, sir.
You got to chill.
Oh no, don't do it. Oh, that's nasty right there. We shall get the peepers to coming on up in this joint, and then we'll see what we got. See, nasty right there. We shall get the peepers. What up, East? What the business is? I know that picture. You don't use that same account either. You like me. You got like five of them. I'm with you when I'm right. We'll see if everybody else can get in here. What up, East? Let's see what else is popping, you know? I know that picture. We'll see how many more people can get up in here before we start popping off. But we gonna see, man. I watched a whole lot of streams last night. I mean, a whole lot. I mean, a ton of live streams from Dave Buffs. I think I watched two of Chico's, Johnny Liquidator, Rawhide. I pretty much covered all the mainstreams because everybody was talking about Kamani. And I just wanted to see what everybody's opinion was. And it was pretty much the same. Well, no, it was a lot of varying differences. I'm going to take that back. It wasn't the same. There's a lot of differences in there. And um, let's see. It was a lot of stuff that and it was pretty much like Chico. I think he was mad at one streamer for what, doing a bunch of stupid shit, and was mad about Coach Prime. Dave was pretty much on the level as he's always been. Rawhide was bouncing back and forth. Um, and John was just mad because Kamani his boy. But it is what it is. And as we know, this is football. It's college football. And everybody got the decision to do what they want to do. And I just don't think it was a good fit for Kamani at all. I don't think it was. I don't. I don't know. I think from what I gather and the stuff that I've seen, heard, it was a mixture of a lot of stuff. As far as him missing home, him not putting in the work is very important. And him not buying in. You got to buy into the program completely if you want to play at that institution. And people, if you haven't been to college, that freshman year, real hard. I mean, super hard. I mean, so hard because you got to get used to your environment. You got to balance your classes, go to practice, watch film, work out, and learn everything, especially if it's not in your city, in your state. You got a whole entire life change. That is a big life change for a lot of people who haven't been to college. And then football by itself, and everybody don't adapt well. But he's in the portal now. He's probably going to get a ton of offers, but it's still going to be up to him and coach to see if things can be worked out, if he want to give it a second shot, if he going to buckle down and get himself together. But if it's not for you, it's just not for you. And I don't think Colorado is the place for Kamani. It doesn't seem to be. That's a lot, because Prime asks a lot of his players. And it might be some coaches that'll be a little bit more lenient with Kamani than Prime was. And that may be what he needs to strive. Everybody can, in high pressure situations, everybody doesn't do it the right way or do what is needed for them to do to maintain. Come on, he looks on his face, and his body language screams, "I'm a mama boy," and he looks like the type of black male athlete that don't like a meat man to step to him. Well, but see, that comes with football. Because in high school, you was the man. You could get away with everything. You know what I'm saying? In high school, you could get away with not showing up at practice. In high school, you could get away with not watching no film if you was able to watch film. In high school, you could miss a class here and there, and the coach wouldn't be on your ass. But here, in college, you can't afford to do that. And I don't think it was his grades. I think Kamani just thought he was the man and was walking into a situation where he was going to be the man, and it didn't work out that way. Simple fact was, Kamani had the grades, I think, to enroll early. Didn't do it. Showed up late for summer practice. Extra late. If you want to be the man, you show up early. You work out. He showed up out of shape, wasn't ready for what hit him, because he out there hanging out with his high school friends and doing his thing. And I understand wanting to spend time with your family, but if you got a mission, if you want to get somewhere, your mission is to get to the NFL, and you're one of the top-rated cornerbacks in the nation, and you're fixing to be trained by the best cornerback to ever play the game, and he told you he was going to show you how to play both ways. If you want to play both ways, this is what you do. Why wouldn't you want to learn from that guy? Why wouldn't that guy be the one person that you wanted to learn from the most? Prime. I mean, dog.
You got to chill.
The best to ever do it? And see, that's the NCSA sending me stuff for my son for IMG. I get stuff like this. See, I got an athlete. I got two of them, as a matter of fact. But it is what it is. And I was an athlete. I was a hooper. And, dude, this stuff is not easy. Going to college by itself, just doing regular stuff, is not easy. Adding a sport on top of that, you got to have that why and that will and that want to. If you don't have a want to, what you say, Keith? That's why Coach Prime preferred to recruit in the transfer portal, because of the maturity level. Probably true. You know, but who knows? you know. And but it's not that Coach Prime doesn't want to recruit at the high school level. Let me tell you this. Hold on. His turnaround, because of what he walked into and the way football is set up, college football is set up now with transfer portal and NIL, it's easier for him to build the culture. JB say he's not building the culture. A lot of people say he's not building the culture. He's building a culture. But the way he's building is not the general way everybody else builds. Because football has changed and everybody else is trying to catch up, learn, and adapt. It's a simple saying, either adapt or you die. It's just that simple. Now, with the transfer portal, with NIL, it allows Prime to construct a completely new football team in the matter of a transfer portal or two. Right? Because first year, everybody's out. Everybody gone. We just going to find new players, get what we got. We'll keep the ones that want to stay, want to work for it, and want to earn it. Everything else we got to recruit in. This first year, they didn't get the starters and the people that played a lot. They just got bodies to build on, to play with, to start a team. This year, he recruited high school. He just didn't recruit 30 high school students like everybody else used to do. You know, every class is 25 or 30 high school students. That was the way it used to be. This year we got, 10 to 12 high school students coming in. Everybody else transfers, plus the remaining people from last year. That's the foundation. The people from last year are the foundation of this football rebuild. So you take those guys. Yeah, they played a pretty bad season. It is what it is. The record is what it is. It's 4-8. You can't change that. Start out the season hot, didn't end so well because the offensive line with the shit. Half of the defense wasn't playing properly, out of position, out of everything. But the second season, they knew what they needed. So now you go get what you need. We need linemen. We need a few more linebackers. You know, we can get some more DBs and safeties, but as far as that goes, we good. We gonna need some more for depth and all that, so let's go get the best we can get. But the main focus was offensive, defensive line, and linebackers. So that was the focus. And when the portal opened up, that's exactly what they did. Exactly what they focused on. Keep you right. Immature high school students are not ready. Kamani is prime example this whole year. I wouldn't say he's not ready. I would say more of he didn't want to. It's the difference between being ready and wanting to. You have to want to do all the little stuff and the extra stuff that you need to do to play college football. I don't think he wanted to. I think somewhere in the middle of last season, Kamani got it in his mind that, hey, I might transfer at the end of the season. And that's what happened. It was already playing in his mind because he wasn't getting the playing time. Coach Prime was on his butt. You know, he wasn't showing up and doing the things he was supposed to. And right there, I think his focus just said, okay, fuck it. I got some options. We'll see how the season go out. And then I'll focus on what I want to do. Now, you remember when the season ended, Kamani was in Houston. He was in Texas, back in Florida. He made some trips. Now, was those college trips or was those just hanging out trips? See, you got to go back and look at all the little stuff that they were doing. I don't think Kamani ever wanted to be a part of all that filming and all that stuff because his social media doesn't say he likes to be with that. The hell with JB. Coach Prime, when any coach is going to have a problem building from a 1-11 team, a losing coach. Correct. Building a winning coach, CU don't happen overnight. Correct. It ain't going to happen overnight. It wasn't going to happen overnight. Prime said he's going to win, and he did that. He did. He won. Anything better than 1-11 was okay. Now this year, anything better than 4-8 is okay. Because he didn't start out with a team. 1-11 is not a team. And that's the biggest part of this puzzle that everybody doesn't understand. People are fussing because he went 4-8. What did you actually think he was going to do? Yeah, you watching the videos and it looks good. But we all knew, most of us knew that they didn't have what it takes to be as great as he wants them to be. You know, it takes a minute to build that culture. It takes getting the right people in. The staff he has is phenomenal. Now, he built the shit out of it. He built the hell out of that staff. He built that staff like no other. You know, if you want to go to the league or if you want to be coached by pros and the right people, you go to Colorado. There's nowhere else for you to go but Colorado. Why would you go anywhere else if you have a mission? But now, this year, when they start winning, because the team is 10 times better than it was last year. Better linemen, need the depth. Better linebackers. B.J. Green still ain't showed up. Terrell Timmons ain't showed up. What's his name? Out of Vanderbilt ain't showed up. Baby T.O. ain't showed up. You know, Cam McHale ain't showed up. It's a lot still left out there. Right now, in this portal, this new one, they're going to get more offensive, defensive line, maybe a couple more linebackers. Now they're building for the future. People don't see what he's doing. Only thing they see is, he's getting people out of the transfer portal. But he's getting people out of the transfer portal with time. With time. With years left to play. He's getting sophomores and juniors. Yeah, he got a couple of seniors, couple of grad students. But it's still a lot left to build on. Because you forgot, Dylan's going to be a sophomore this year. You got a freshman running back and a junior running back and a senior running back with Savion and Charlie. So people are piling on, but don't see the foundation is there. Jordan Seaton's a freshman left tackle. They got 3 sophomores on the offensive line, 3 on the defensive line. They're going to be good. You just got to add more pieces behind those or with those for the depth factor and make it better. Yeah, and next year they're going to go out and get some more high school kids, probably about 15 at the most. Some linemen, receivers, all that. He's slowly stacking because it's not a quick build. It was a quick turnaround, but the build is going to take a minute. But while you're building, you still can turn around this team to make it a winning team. Coach Prime wants to be the first black coach to win the Natty. He has the best shot he has in Colorado because he has complete autonomy in Colorado. He has all control over that program. This year is full of so much hype. I'll be happy with a 6-6 or better season. You're gonna get a better than 6-6 season. SB. You're gonna get a better than 6-6 season. This team, the Big 12 is a good conference, but it's not a stacked conference. Anybody can come out of that conference. Nobody runs that conference. No one team. Now that Texas and Oklahoma are gone, only team that's even been close is Oklahoma State to being behind Oklahoma and Texas. But as far as the rest of the teams that's in the conference, there's not been just one standout team every year that's right behind or challenging Texas and Oklahoma for the conference championship besides Oklahoma State. Like Kansas State will pop up every now and then. It's like TCU didn't even win the Big 12 and went to the Natty, to the playoff. You see what I'm saying? They lost their conference game, their conference title game, and still went to the playoffs. Last season, Pac-12 was loaded. Yes, Pac-12 was loaded from top to bottom. Wasn't nothing bad. Oh, yeah, you ain't got to worry about me going. This is why I just popped this one up, because this is what I'm going to start doing more often, going live. And I just had to pop it up so everybody could see that it's possible, you know. What you say, SB, at least you're talking reasonably about the season and the rebuild. Yeah, I'm not, because everybody out here, a lot of these guys y'all watch on YouTube are just blowing up, being hyped, because they want the clicks and views. Y'all don't know my history of YouTube. I've been doing YouTube since 2010. Check the born date on this channel. It's old as hell. I've been making money off YouTube since 2011. You see that little Y in the top right corner of your screen? That's my YouTube network. Go find that channel and see how many subscribers it has. I got YouTube plaques. They're just not on this wall. They're on the wall in my upstairs game room. I'm downstairs in my downstairs game room now. But, yeah, I got YouTube plaques for days, dog. I've been doing this for a long time. But, yeah, the Pac-12 was thick. Nobody saw Arizona coming the way they came last year. Nobody saw even Arizona State. Nobody saw that. But the quarterbacks in the Pac-12 were good all the way from top to bottom. You had a Heisman quarterback and 2 or 3 that could have been fighting for the Heisman. But the Pac-12 cannibalized itself, as it always does, but last year they had more ranked teams than any other conference except the SEC. SEC is always going to be king. That's my conference. That's why I come from Alabama. That's my folks. SEC is always going to be king. Eat, sleep, and breathe football in the Southeast. There is nothing like it down there. I live in Texas right now, so I'm still in football heaven because it goes down in Texas. But like I was saying, let's get back to the Colorado stuff. Enough about me. Y'all will learn that as we go on. Enough about it. But like I said, the Big 12 is not as stacked as people think it is. This conference, the 4 teams that are coming from the Pac-12 might end up at the top of the Big 12 by the end of the season. Arizona, Arizona State, Utah, Colorado. Name me 4 teams in the Big 12 that are better than those 4 teams besides Arizona State. Psst. Poor Sun Devils. But they still might be something this year. Everybody had coaching changes. Arizona going to have to eat that. We don't know how that's going to pan out. But yet still, Baylor was, 3-9 last year. Baylor had a worse record than Colorado. That's the homecoming game. That's the first home game in the conference play this year. It's Baylor. And people think they picked that game. People think they picked that game for the homecoming game because it's Baylor. No, because they don't want to play the homecoming game in the middle of the season, the 7th or 8th game, and it's cold. Or they can't do their homecoming activities and things like that. You get it over with your first game at home, which will be your 4th game of the season. So you remember they opened up with, who is it? North Dakota State. Then Nebraska, horrible. Because they going to play a freshman quarterback and going to get him. Ooh, it's going to be bad for that young man. And then we got CSU after that. And then Baylor. But, so those are the first 4 winnable games. Right there. That's your 4-0 start. Matching your record of last year. So now you got 8 games left. So you tell me, do we win at least 4 of those last 8? Yes, I think so. Nobody scares me on that schedule but Kansas, Oklahoma State. That's it. That is it. Everybody else got problems. Either new coaches or they're rebuilding. This is the perfect year to jump in the Big 12. I mean, everybody said last year was the perfect year for Prime to take over when it actually wasn't. It was the worst year for Prime to come to Colorado because the Pac-12 was stacked. But you got to remember, listen to this. Nobody Colorado only played 1. No. Because Colorado State is a what? That's the only non-Power 5 team that they didn't play. They played all D1 schools last year. And only didn't play. Nobody else in the country did that. 12 D1 schools all year long. All year. Show me another record throughout the country where somebody last year played 12 Division I programs all year. Colorado did that. Colorado State is not a Power 5 school, but it's a D1 program. Nobody else did that. All other teams played FCS schools. They played 2 of them, probably. But nobody played 12 Division I schools last year. You're right. North Dakota State game is going to be rough because they're fundamentally sound. These boys are tough back-to-back FCS. North Dakota State runs the FCS, dog. That's theirs. But this year, they got a coaching change. Their head coach is gone. They got a new head coach. They got a couple of new head coaches. So their foundation has been rocked. I'm not saying they're going to be an easy program to play because those boys play hard and they go hard. But it still should be a win. Nebraska should be a win. Colorado State should be a blowout. In their house. Nebraska should be another blowout in the Cornhuskers' house. And then Baylor comes to Boulder. I drive through Waco almost every day. It's going to be rough in Waco this year. That's all I'm saying. I'm worried about the chemistry of the team. Do they know to keep winning? Remember what happened at the Stanford game? Blew 30-point lead, and it was downhill from there. True. But you got a different mindset this year. You got to remember that whole offensive line that was there last year, gone. All of them. Every last one of them, gone. Not here no more. Defensive line, most of them, gone. Not here no more. And part of that Stanford loss is on Coach Kelly. Bad calls. Blitzed at the wrong time. Stayed in man too much when he should have been running cover 2 a lot. You're up 30, dog. Only thing you got to do is protect the end zone. You know they got to throw the ball all the time. Get your defense together. It's a lot of bad defensive calls together. At Keith, look at the teams that NDSU played. They played nobody's, yeah. But they played what's in their conference. They can't play all Power 5 schools. But they got a lot of championships at North Dakota State, dog. Ain't no doubt about that. They got a lot of championships over there. They got a ton of freaking national titles at NDSU. But back to Colorado. This year should be one of those years. I wouldn't be shocked if Colorado make the playoffs, dog. The way this is set up, if they play like they supposed to play, if it all comes together, because we know they got a good team, but it all has to come together. That's one of the main problems. Remember Appalachian State, Michigan? Yeah. Michigan still ain't getting over that. They might not never get over that loss, dog. That hurt. That hurt big time. They might not never get over that loss. But Colorado is in a position to win the Big 12. But I'm telling you, one of the 4 teams that comes from the Pac-12 will more than likely win the Big 12 this season. Because that conference don't have a dominant team. The 2 dominant teams of that conference are going to the SEC. Oklahoma State is all that's left. And this team has to come together and play as one. That's why Prime and the other coaches emphasize all this hanging out and camaraderie and getting to know your teammates and spending time with each other so you'll care. And that was the problem with last year. Nobody cared. Everybody was out for self because they was getting the shine and they was getting the praise. And when they took that L, they didn't know how to handle it. They didn't know how to have each other's back. They didn't know how to bounce back. That was the biggest problem. You got to remember in that Stanford game, when they went into halftime, coach said the score is 0-0. We know they're going to try to come back. You got to go out there and play like we just started in the first quarter. Brand new game, no points on the board. And what did they do? First thing they did was ran out that tunnel and looked up at that scoreboard. And it was all downhill from there because everybody got slack. Travis was just coming back off of injury. He playing hurt still. And it was just a bad night. But see, that's when all the bad stuff collides together. Everything that was bad, everything that could go wrong, it happened that night. And everybody on social media ate them boys up because they lived on social media. And that's where they took that beating at. But Prime told them, you go out there and take what your fan base gives you because you earned it. You was taking the shine. Now you got to take this whooping in public. Because he told you, they coming for you. But you got to eat it. You got to own it because you did it. And that's only right. When the shine was on you, when you was up, when you was 3-0, you was loving it. Even when they was 3-2, when they lost to USC, everybody still had hope. It was that Stanford game that did you in. That Stanford game. That Stanford game. That was it. Wasn't no more life in the team after that Stanford game. They gave up, dog. Wasn't no more. I agree. I see a playoff run this season for Colorado. Yeah, they got a playoff run in them. They just got to put it all together. But see, summertime come. Yeah, everybody go get your little break on, but everybody got to come back. You can't go home for 2 months and do nothing. You got to come back and go back in the lab and work. You got to be here before August. You got to be working all summer. Quarterbacks got to get with the receivers. All the linemen got to get together. Private workout, private stuff. These are the things that make you great as a team. Football is the ultimate team sport. One man can't do without the other. Basketball, you can get away with it. Baseball, you can get away with it. Soccer, yeah. If you're a center fielder, you can go up and down the field all day. If you messy, yeah, you can go. Golf, you by yourself. You in the course. That's who you playing. Football is the ultimate team sport. Because you can't do nothing without the man beside you. You can't run the ball without no line. You can't catch the ball without no quarterback or no wide receiver. There's nothing nobody can do by themselves. You need help. That's why it's important that you mesh as a team and become one. How do you fight the referees who called 3 TDs back in the last game they played with Ryan Starr? Man, Travis got robbed, Jimmy got robbed. Man, everybody got robbed in that game. It was a bunch of bad calls last year against Colorado. But again, that's the Deion effect. Because the referees didn't like Deion either. And the Pac-12 have some of the worst referees in the country. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. I am an Arizona State alumni. Pac-12 referees suck, dog. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm a Sun Devil. And Pac-12 referees suck, dog. They've been sucking for years. It is what it is. But, anyway. Colorado has a chance at the playoff. You just got to put it together. You got to have the want to. The want to matters. The why matters, but the want to matters more. Why you doing it? The purpose of you doing it is your why. But you have to want your why. You can't just have a why and no want to. If you got a why, yeah, you got a purpose, but are you going to get there? Are you going to do everything in your power to get to your goal, to make your purpose happen, to get to your why? That is the ultimate. That's what makes you great. That's what makes you good. Going beyond your want to is what makes you great. Like Travis. Travis works his ass off. Travis is a good football player. And he's going to be great because he does all the little things, the extra work, the extra workouts, everything that he needs to do. And when he's done working out, you know what he do? He go home. He don't go hang out. He don't go do all that extra stuff. He go home to his old lady and he chilling. He jumping on the Twitch stream playing video games. Staying out the way. Because if you out of the way, they can't say nothing about you. Because he has his why. And his want to is greater than his why. He wanted to do something for his mom. And before he even got to the league, he bought her a house. And he's not satisfied. Because he does not just want to set up his mom. He got brothers and sisters. He got a girl he gonna marry. And she got parents. And see, when you make money, you want to take care of all those people that matters. The Utah game proved that the referees are terrible in the Pac-12. No, the Utah game didn't prove that. Colorado State game proved that. Colorado State game proved that the referees were horrible in the Pac-12. Did you not see how many missed calls? That one late hit on Travis where there wasn't a flag, regardless if the player was thrown out of the game or not, should have been a flag. Minimum 15 yards. But nothing. We all saw it. They saw it. Because if you watching the play, like minimum 2 referees were watching that play. 2, a line judge and the middle judge was watching that play. The line judge for sure saw that ball hit the ground and Travis didn't catch it because that's what he was watching for. The field judge in the middle of the field was looking that way too. Looking for holding and pass interference. Nobody threw the flag. Why? You saw the hit. There's no doubt in my mind those referees saw the hit. Why wasn't no flag thrown? You tell me. I'm just asking. That's a legitimate question. Why wasn't a flag thrown when that young man hit that man? You tell me. I want to know. Why? Can't tell me you didn't see the play. Running those touchdowns that was called back in the Utah game. We saw that man running up that sideline. They say he stepped out of bounds. I'm looking at his feet in real time and know he didn't step out of bounds. What's the big deal? You have to want to be great, and he didn't want to put in the work to be a great player. Yeah, that's true. What can you do, though, when you got options? When you got options, And you know you don't have to do all the things you need to do to stay at one program because another program will pick you up because you're a 5-star player. Even though your film doesn't show you as a 5-star player. Everybody is focused on the USC game where Kamani stopped Brendan Rice. Go watch the Arizona game and the Arizona State game. Go watch both of them games when Kamani was playing and getting cooked on them slant routes, cooked on that post route, cooked on that go route. Go watch the film. It's there in black and white. He's a good DB. He just has to be taught. And when you don't want to be taught because you already think you're good, those are the things that happen to you. Coach Prime put him in the game on purpose so he could get cooked. Hopefully thinking that this would say, okay, I need to turn up. I need to get in the film room. I need to get on the practice field. I need to do the extra stuff after practice. I need to start learning. People don't know that when you go to the NFL, bruh, you in the classroom all day. You practice probably an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most. But you in the film room. You in team meetings. You in position meetings. You going to see the trainer, getting taped up, getting your body worked on. Bruh, when you go to the league, you in the classroom all day. 4, 5, 6 hours out of a day. Studying, learning, focus. Because if you don't know the game up here, no matter how much athleticism you got, if you don't know what scheme you're going in, you don't know what protections you're running, if you don't know where you're supposed to be on the play, you're going to cost your team. Just that simple. Everybody has to be on the same page. One accord. Just like the movie. One band, one sound. You're right. Colorado State was a horrible game. I knew then they had it in for Coach Prime. Right. Buffton Prime showed film of Kamani getting cooked on their channel. Yeah, I'm going to watch that video tonight. I saw it when it popped up. I'm going to watch that video tonight. Later on when I'm chilling. And see what they got. But I saw the film. I remember this stuff. I remember those bad coverages, bad angles, getting cooked on those. It was so obvious that he wasn't prepared. It was so obvious he wasn't prepared. He didn't watch the film, and he wasn't ready, and he didn't know the scheme. Because he was out of position in so many plays. And everybody on the field just throwing their hands up like, what? What can you do? Coach Prime knew what he was doing. I promise you he did. I promise you Coach Prime knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing when he put him out there. Let him get cooked. Hopefully this would jar something in your mental to say, hey, I need to do better. I need to get in the film study. I need to be at these practices. I need to be asking questions. I need to know. Because if you're a cornerback and you don't know where you're supposed to be, you're going to get blown out the water every freaking time. And it's just that simple, dog. There's nothing hard about this stuff. Football is a hard game. It's more mental than physical. Yeah, you beat each other up all day. But you got to know how to beat each other up all day. It's a lot of stuff you got to know about football, dog. It's a lot. And I mean from a lineman to a DB. What I think of Jermaine Wimpy. I watched some of that film. I ain't watched a lot of it. I gotta look at it some more. I heard he was a beast, and I seen Buffton Prime did a video on him too. See, it take me. I have to be on the road when I watch Buffton Prime. But they video is long. I can't be at the house and watch them because I'll get interrupted all day. My kids will want me to do something or come help with something, or it'll be something. So I have to be out the house when I watch this. So that's usually in the middle of the night. When I'm out, I'll check them out. But yeah. But anyway, man, it was just a short stream. I'm going to get a stream time together where we can do this probably every day or at least 3 times a week. Maybe 4. Y'all let me know. Put it in the chat. We going to do it either way it go. You figure it me. But I appreciate y'all for stopping by. We've been on here 40, 50 minutes, almost an hour. So, yeah. Let's get it popping. I appreciate y'all for asking questions and hanging out with your boy. And we'll do it again probably tomorrow. I'm going to post it later on if I'm going to stream tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.